Hello and welcome back. I have been gone for some time. The lack of motivation has been so real. Honestly, at this point, I was just focusing on cleaning and getting everything together. There was just so much to do. I'm so tired all the time. I am now 39 weeks pregnant. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little quiet. I'm tired. There's no other excuse. I don't really fit very many things anymore. I didn't think I'd go this far. After about 35 weeks, I was like, this is it. I'm gonna be gone in like 3 weeks. I'm gonna go 37, 38 weeks and have this baby. And I did not. I am 39 and 2 days. And I really thought I was gonna have it last night, which is what I'm gonna talk about. So I'm pretty sure it's called prodromal labor. I have suffered from that for like a week and a half now, and my hopes have gotten up plenty of times because of it. It absolutely sucks. So anyone else who is going through that right now, like, just power through it, ignore it. I hated to hear that, like, watching these videos, because I watched other women's videos talking about prodromal labor, and they said just try to ignore it, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that, because I want my hopes to get up. I want to be excited. I want to be ready. And it just never happened. And last night I really thought it was going to happen. I was having contractions. They started at 5:30 p.m. And they were like less than 10 minutes apart. And then they got consistently 7 minutes apart to about 8. Somewhere in there. And they dipped down even to like 6. And so I was like, all right. By about 11 or so, I was like, let me go to bed. So I was fully expecting to wake up within the next like 2 hours or 3 hours in immense pain and thinking, let's go to the hospital. No, I got up. I was fine. It was like 12:30. 1 o'clock, and I just peed. I was good. Everything was perfectly fine. I'm at the point now where I'm tired of people asking me if I slept well and saying, oh, that's great. I'm like, no, it's not great. No, I want a night of complete restlessness, of wondering whether or not I need to go to the hospital, and actually going. I'm ready for that night or day or whatever is going on. But it just has not happened. And these contractions, I mean, they feel real. And they don't stop. I mean, especially last night, the first week of having them every single day. Started 39 weeks and 5 days. 37 weeks and 5 days is when the contractions first started every single day. And last week, sorry, I have the hiccups. Last week around 38 and 5 days and 38 and 6 days, those 2 days, I had nothing going on. And then the next day they kind of got regular again. But not really. Like, not nearly to the degree that they were. But then yesterday at 39 and 1 week, they literally got so close together, and I was so disappointed. Water didn't stop it. Walking made it worse, which is evidence of true labor. So I was pretty excited, and they're still going. It has been 16 hours. But they're not as consistent anymore. They're like every 20 minutes apart now. It's very frustrating. And I'm having one now, but they're like mild now. That I can talk through them, everything's fine. So that has been the last week and a half. There haven't really been any new symptoms since the last time I spoke, because I mean, I'm getting more and more pregnant, but I'm getting more and more just ready for labor and not having pregnancy symptoms, just having labor signs and symptoms. I did have a baby shower. I had a baby shower at 35 weeks, and it was a drive-by, and it was hot as all get out. I have never sweated throughout this whole pregnancy as much as I did that day. It was absolutely terrible, but I got a lot of good stuff. It was worth it. Let's see. A big reason that I was MIA forever is because for weeks and weeks, I mean like 2 months, I was having like severe brain fog, and I don't know if it's just pregnancy brain. I don't know if that's what real pregnancy brain is, but it was pretty intense. Like I was very disconnected from reality. I don't know if that's a common thing for other people, and I couldn't concentrate on anything. My mood was like way down here, and it didn't rise back up forever. And I had even physical signs, like symptoms from I guess my hormones being different. But basically I was getting like night sweats, my hands would get really hot still, and the indigestion was real. Like I had heartburn every single night, which that's picked back up, but I think that's more because of the baby rather than hormones at this point. But it was crazy. I've just never experienced that. It was like just a constant, not depression, but it was very bland, like just the most bland emotions. And I couldn't concentrate on anything, any like reading, nothing. So I don't know, but that is where I have been. I'm probably going to do a what's in my hospital bag video, because this one's relatively boring. But this is the prodromal labor information. I looked for it everywhere. I looked for other people's experiences and couldn't find anything. I mean, seriously, ladies, it's rough, and they're not always painful. They can be mild and really close together, and you're like, is this labor? Like, this doesn't feel like labor. Or they can be excruciating and really, really close together, and it's still not labor. And that's why so many people get sent home. But you have to be really careful with it, because if you go in and you're dilated, oh, that's another thing. I'm not dilated at all. I'm 39 weeks and 2 days, and I am not dilated. I go for my appointment tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I better be dilated. I really want a membrane sleep, but that's besides the point. But yeah, if you go into the hospital and they're like, oh, you're 3 centimeters dilated, and you're having contractions every 5 minutes and you're in pain, those contractions could die out, and they could be nothing. And they could see it as stalled labor. You could go to the hospital and that's what they see it as, and then they try to put you on a hormone drip, and that makes you very, very susceptible to a C-section, compared to if you weren't to have a hormone drip and were ready for labor. But just take that time, walk, do whatever you gotta do if you've been experiencing prodromal labor for some time. It's tough. It's gonna be tough. So good luck to everyone out there. I hope this video was informational and educational. Goodbye.